Howdy folks, how are you tonight?
Hello.
We are going to do a video on...
how crime creates laws. You know, how laws create crime.
Laws create crime, right. There's natural laws, laws of nature. Outside of that, any laws, I mean, like, when I say laws of nature, I mean like gravity, stuff like that. Those are laws of nature. Outside of that, laws that are written by man create crime, and they create criminals. I always go back to speeding as an example.
Yeah.
Speeding is a written, man-made law. It says speeding, going too fast, is a crime. Now, if the law wasn't there, and you went flying down the road, there's no victim, there's no crime, you're happy because you wanted to go fast, so you went fast. Laws create crime. A prime example of laws creating crime, look at Prohibition, when alcohol was illegal. Gangsters and the mob and all that was exploding with business.
Yep.
They had all kinds of business. And did you say pimps?
Yeah.
What the hell has pimps got to do with alcohol?
I don't know. I just figured.
All right, pimps, yeah. Pimps.
I don't even remember what
The
that
word for the
means.
day is a pimp. A pimp is a guy that has a bunch of prostitutes.
Isn't
He's
he the one
supposed
that's
to
protect them?
Supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like a pimp can't protect a prostitute any more than a cop can protect you,
Yeah.
right? Unless the cop is right there with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
They can't protect you.
They can't protect you. It's just like if the pimp isn't with the prostitute and the John, how's he supposed to protect her? You can't.
But they do beat him for. But they do beat them for not giving them.
Their money, right?
Yeah.
But
This
okay.
became a very weird video.
Aside, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nate. Straight pimping, boo.
Thanks.
What?
You're not straight tripping, boo. Anyhow, laws create crime and criminals. Gun laws are a prime example of that.
Yeah.
The Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, it doesn't say the right to bear arms unless it's a semi-automatic or unless it's a fully automatic. It's just the right to bear arms.
Unless it's a 50 cal.
So
No.
it doesn't even say that.
I know.
So then they write a law. So you have citizens that own these kinds of guns, right? They own machine guns and whatever kind of weaponry they want, right?
Yep.
And then they write a law that says, well, now you can't have a gun with a 30-round magazine. Now everybody that already has a 30-round magazine is now a criminal, and that is now they are committing a crime.
Yeah.
That's how laws create crime and criminals. And the reason the government wants to do this,
Is to make money.
right, exactly. Now that it's against the law, it's a crime. Now you're putting the police departments to work, you're putting the judges to work, you're putting the lawyers to work, because now all these people are criminals just because of a law that was written, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now the cops got to go round them up, the lawyers got to argue and fight with them, and the judges got to try the case, and then the jurors, and there's fines, and of course they make money off of that.
It's just
So
a whole shebang.
and it's
Basically.
all to benefit the government. It's all a money grab. The more laws that are written, the more not only control, but the richer they get too. They have more control over us because their laws that they write limit our freedoms,
Yep. They sure do.
right?
It's just wrong.
It is wrong.
Yeah. I mean, like.
Right now, it's kind of off topic, but we have no current freedoms. None.
We have to
A
go
freedom-
to school. We have to go
A
to
freedom
work.
is something that is unregulated. There's no laws against it. It's something you can do unimpeded. Freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of speech.
Nope.
Even kids, if they go to school, they can't say what they want when they want. They'll be shut up. You know, they'll be told to shut up or get some kind of disciplinary action. You and I, if I make this video and I say something on here that YouTube doesn't like, YouTube will take the video down, right? So even your freedom, I can't put whatever I want in the newspaper
No.
because that'll be taken down, right?
Yeah,
So your freedom of speech has been gone out the window a long time ago. I did bring this up once before, how we have no freedoms.
You did?
I did, not on a YouTube video, but in a different form.
Oh, yeah.
Texas has real freedoms.
A woman, she said that she could go to. I was having a discussion with somebody about having no freedoms, and she said, "Well, I can go to the food bank and I can get free food, and then I can go to a public park and sit there in the park and read a book that I get from the library for free next to the river, which is maintained, you know, and doesn't cost her a nickel." And it sounded like a great scenario. It really did, you know. Getting some free food and a free book and sitting at the free park. And what she wasn't understanding, though, is none of those things were free. Just because she didn't pay for them directly, they were all paid for by taxes. So none of that stuff is free.
So she did technically pay for it in a way.
Right. She paid taxes, and her taxes, a portion of her taxes, went to fund the library, where she got the free book. A portion of her taxes went to the food bank, where she got the free food. Excuse me. A portion of her taxes went to maintain and build the park, where she sat and read the book and ate the food, you know, and the river was maintained via tax dollars as well, you know. So none of it was free. None of that is anything to do with freedom. In fact, even breathing, I had somebody say that, well, you can breathe all the air you want for free. You can't even breathe for free. You literally cannot breathe for free.
No.
There's an agency called the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. There's a portion of your taxes that goes to regulate air quality. So even that is not free. You have no freedoms. Everything, every aspect of your life is ruled, regulated, or made illegal.
Yes.
Oh, we're
It's
getting
very
kind of sidetracked from crimes.
But it happens.
But yeah, crimes and
I mean, that could create crimes, like people want to rebel against it.
rebel against
Yeah, that could
the lack of
create
freedoms.
crimes.
Yeah. They don't know who to rebel against, though. It's like they want a person that they can go and gun down, or you know, that a government. They want government to be a living entity, somebody that they can fight against, and it's not. The best way to fight against the current situation that we're in with no freedoms
Not
Just
obey.
spread it.
is
Don't obey.
civil disobedience. Yeah. Just refuse to comply. You know, when they tell you to shut up and sit down, don't shut up and sit down.
Yeah.
You know, it's your right to speak your mind. It's your right to traverse the country, you know, travel the country and do whatever. Yeah,
Train jumped to the checks again.
it did. We got sidetracked big time. That's what happens when we don't
Yeah.
write anything down.
Yeah.
What do you guys got to say? Anything? Speak your minds. Let it be known.
Also, it has to be a group effort, because just one person, it ain't exactly gonna
Yeah,
work.
that's why he said civil.
Oh, for civil disobedience.
Yeah.
Mass civil disobedience. Yeah. It's like one person. I mean, one person. Every individual does help,
Oh,
but you've got to spread the knowledge. I mean, if one person refuses to pay taxes,
they're just gonna
lock that one person up. You know, it's everybody. That's the one thing that gives government power is their organization. You know, they work together with each other. They don't bicker and argue. You know, that's a big thing in politics. Is for the civilians, is bickering back and forth over Republican or Democrat. It's the right and the left, but it's the same animal. It's the same bird. You know, it's two wings of the same bird.
Yeah.
You know, on the big issues that are important, the big issues that matter, the right and the left are in agreement all the way. It's these little things that don't matter that they try to use to divide the country and separate us, and it works. They're doing it very well.
Yeah. And
to an extent. But if you look at how many people just refuse to participate in even voting, it's less than 50% voter turnout. I think that's great. That speaks volumes in of itself. People have so little faith in their government that they're just not participating at all. That's great. And you see videos a lot too where people motorcycles, a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see where they won't pull over. They take off and run. You know, they know that they didn't do any wrong. They didn't hurt anybody. There was no victim. There's no reason for them to be fined or punished for doing a wheelie or going 180 down the freeway, you know? As long as there's no victim, there's no crime.
Or passing through cars.
We did that
Yeah,
on the
splitting
Sixth
lanes.
Amendment, didn't we?
Yep. Yeah, we did. Yep, I did on the video on the Sixth Amendment.
I came up with something to say while you guys were talking. So, they made a law. There are no guns allowed in school. I'm pretty sure that's a law, right?
Right.
No guns allowed in school.
Yeah, it's a gun-free zone.
Now, they literally put signs saying no guns. And what do you think people are going to do when they see no guns? Because they know nobody else in the school is going to have a gun. So what do you think they're going to do?
You can turn the school into a target, right?
Yeah, you literally are. Because nobody else in the school has a gun because there's no guns.
Yep.
And so if they go in there with a gun, they're free. They have nobody
to
else
stop
with a
them.
gun.
Right.
Exactly.
See, the problem with guns is people look at guns as an offensive tool.
It's a defensive
It's a
tool.
defensive tool. You need to look at a gun as a form of defense.
Not
There's no
offense.
better way to stop a gunman than with a gun, right?
Yeah.
If everybody has a gun, I mean, this has been proven time and time again. You look at places like Chicago,
Yeah.
where there's very, very strict gun laws. It's illegal to own guns. I mean, it's very tough to get a gun. So now the only people that have guns are the criminals. And they know that nobody else has a gun, so they can just run rampant through the streets doing whatever they want. And that's why you have so many murders and killings in Chicago. And then you go to places like Arizona, where gun laws are very lax. There are no gun laws. It's a constitutional carry state. And there's no crime.
Along with Texas.
Because everybody knows that everybody else has a gun. Or at least they have the possibility of having a gun. And a gun is a form of defense.
Like if somebody's robbing your house, you can shoot them.
Yeah. Yep.
You shouldn't.
You don't even have to shoot them.
Okay
Just
to hurt.
having, right, you don't even have to shoot them. Just having a gun and letting them know that you
intimidate
having
them.
the gun. If they know that you have a gun, they're not going to break into your house,
No.
right?
That's why crime.
Right, because if they know that if you shoot
They're going
them,
to go to the house
they can shoot you.
where there is no guns,
That makes sense.
right?
Yeah.
So, well, we covered a lot of ground real quick there. We covered
Yeah.
laws, guns.
Yeah, and the guns is another law that creates crime. You just gave examples of it.
Yeah, the laws create crime, right?
Yeah. I'm still thinking.
Gun laws create crime.
Yeah.
Because
And that benefits the government. The more crime there is, the more outcry there is from the public for more government because they think the government can help, but it doesn't.
No.
It just exacerbates the problem and makes it worse.
Exacerbates.
Exacerbates. That's the word for the day. You got to look that up.
Okay, I'll look. I'll make sure
because
I look
nobody.
All right, let's call an end to it. Peace.
that up. Love.
Happiness.
Subscribe. And
Ring the bell.
Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding.